TW in Ray's HE Ascended Master's explanation of the law of the MIDI presence concerning twin rays is very definite and unmistakably plain. It is one of the things mankind needs to understand very much, and if understood would prevent a great deal of mankind's distress, most of which occurs through ignorance of this MID law of life. It is imperative that every student know this activity of the great law of life and give obedience to it, if he is to have his complete freedom and the ascension. When individualization from out the great central sun takes place, the first activity is the formation of a body, made of substance that looks like white fire. From this white fire body 2 rays are projected, within each of which is an electronic body, one with the masculine qualities predominant and the feminine submerged, the other with the feminine qualities predominant and the masculine submerged. Each electronic body projects down into the substance of this physical world attributes of itself, much as the roots of a plant go down into the earth. These attributes, acting through the human flesh body, form the intellectual and heart or feeling consciousness of the individual. This portion of individualized consciousness goes through many physical embodiments, sometimes masculine, sometimes feminine, many times alternating. This re-embodiment of each ray takes place again, and again, sometimes hundreds and sometimes thousands of embodiments. It continues, until each individual manifests complete control in all outer physical activities, of all energy and substance. It is only through the individual that the selective, discriminating, consciously directed intelligence acts, to govern the flow of the universal substance and energy. This means the attainment of mastery. Mastery over what? Mastery over substance and energy, by the conscious command of the individual, through the use of the G-Reet creative word, I am, given by himself. This is the journey every individual has chosen to take of his own free will, through this world of physical substance, to expand the perfection of the great central sun through himself. This means through a physical body made of the atomic substance of this physical earth. Each one having decreed his own journey, through the world of physical substance, must fulfill his own decree, for, being the creator individualized, he is the only authority in his being and world and must fulfill his own plan, to expand perfection through himself in this world. This is how the great supreme source of all life and manifestation governs the universe and its activities, through the individualization of itself at various points in the universe. Thus, every human being is the creator, individualized, which means all the authority, power, ability, and attributes of God, life, are focused into the individual, to create and expand perfection through a physical body. When each ray has through many embodiments in physical experience expanded into full activity all the attributes of itself, manifesting complete control over all substance and energy everywhere it moves, then the ascension takes place. The ray that started out in a masculine body makes the ascension in a feminine body. The one that started out in a feminine body makes the ascension in a masculine body. Thus, is the perfect balance always kept. When the ascension of both has taken place, each is the complete balance of all masculine and all feminine qualities within himself. Then the THREE-fold flame of life is completely unfolded, the individual becomes master at cosmic levels of creation and does work with systems of worlds, as well as in this physical world. Thus, that which came out of the G-Reet central sun as one flame becomes 3 complete flames, each of the same full limitless power and activity as the G-Reet central Sunday. This becomes the cosmic activity of the power of the 3 times 3. The electronic body is the power of the 3 times 3 for the human personality consciousness. When both rays have made the ascension, then the individual works with systems of worlds instead of just in one world. This is the way the Godhead is ever expanding the perfection of itself throughout infinity and keeping order throughout interstellar space. Thus, the perfect tie-in of the scheme of creation is magnificent to behold, consistent, credible, satisfactory, immutable and beneficent always. All manifesta tie-in of and in the universe is based on the control and direction of energy, which is life. People often think, if we are the Godhead individualized, the substance is from God, the energy from God, which after all is but another name for life. And God is all perfection, all good, then how does it happen that discord is manifest here on earth and destruction seems to have such sway at times throughout the earth? The Ascended Masters say, Human intellectual consciousness, through using only a few of its God attributes, has the capacity to form judgments and conclusions, from the reports of the physical senses. Without taking into consideration the full knowledge from within the electronic body, which is the supreme cause and allknowing consciousness from the great central sun. Thus, if the intellect wants to know the law of the universe above it, then it must call forth and use the intelligence which controls that above itself. Thus the human intellectual consciousness has only fragmentary information upon which to make its decisions. Unless it calls for the full information to manifest perfection, it falls short of the perfection which is within life, and which should be expressed, because it has forgotten to keep its attention upon the supreme source of its being, the electronic body, and use all of its God attributes. The attention of the intellect has been focused into the world of form or upon the things of the physical world most of the time. The rays of light, which are life, flowing down from the electronic body into the physical body, do the same thing for it, that the rays of light, life, from our physical sun do for the plant life of our earth, because all expanding of perfection, on any plane of life, takes place by the projecting down of life energy, through radiation from that which is above into that which is below. All is a constant raising, expanding active ity of perfection. All energy and substance forever act under law, but they do not discriminate. The discriminating intelligence is located and acts through the individual who says, I am. Returning to the twin RIs, we want the students and readers everywhere to understand that the supreme purpose of every human being's PHY cycle embodiment is to attain the ascension as soon as possible, for that is the full expansion of the individual's perfection into and through the substance of this world. Everyone must do this sometime, somewhere, and each one will continue to re-embody until he does accomplish it. The first commandment is the whole of the law of life, THOUSHALT have NOOTHER gods before me. Whatever our attention is on, is our God for the moment, because wherever our attention is, there are life energy flows, and whatever the individual gives his life to is his God. Since the electronic body is the source of physical life, then nothing should ever come before it in our love, or activity of life. This is why the ascension is the whole purpose of physical embodiment, and winning that victory should be the main business in life for every individual. If the student wants to find out who his twin ray is, instead of completing his own decree to make his ascension, then he is not serving the light, which is his MIDI presence, by placing it first. Hence, he disobeys the very first law of life he has made for himself and which rules throughout infinity. When an individual seeks his twin ray, the feeling that is impelling that one is but of the outer or physical consciousness. It matters not whether it be just for companionship or what is the desire within the individual. It is physical body consciousness, and whoever dwells in that or seeks to find permanent happiness there must some day be disappointed, because it is but temporary. There 14. 4. It must have beginning and end. That which is in obedience to the law of life is perfection, therefore, permanent happiness. The source of permanent happiness is the MIDI presence, and when the individual makes his ascension, he not only attains permanent happiness, but he frees himself from all limitations and inharmony. Then he can give assistance, without limit of any kind, to all he contacts. He becomes all the word master implies. He becomes Lord of life and victor over all in this world. Now, we come to conditions that are pitfalls of unhappiness for thousands of people. Everyone craves happiness and feels that he has a right to have it, which he has, but permanent happiness does not come from the outer activity of life. Never did. Never will. It only comes from the MIDI presence, because it is the source of all life, therefore, all happiness. It does not make the least bit of difference how harmonious and happy you might be with your twin ray if you did meet in the physical life. If one or the other should be married to someone else and obligations have thus been assumed, do not think for one moment that you can push those obligations aside and cause unhappiness for others, just because your twin ray comes along. You must carry out that which is a service you voluntarily assumed. The sinister force through the centuries has used every excuse to get individuals entangled in such conditions, to create discord for as many as possible. That is why there is such distress in the family relationship of most of mankind today. That thing must stop now and forever if human beings are ever to get out of the chains of their own misconduct. Please remember, blessed ones of the light, no one in this universe knows who his twin ray is but the Mighty Presence and the Ascended Masters. No unascended being can ever tell you. So do not let any human being, yourself or anyone else ever make you believe anyone is your twin ray. If it be necessary for you to know, Saint Germain or Jesus will give you unmistakable proof. Even if you met your twin ray and knew the full truth, still that one must never come before your Mighty Presence and the victory of your ascension. So long as human beings keep their attention upon and crave body sensations, even though that be mental companionship, just so long will they stay in the slavery of fear, doubt, lack, misery, and tragedy of every description. The one who wishes to be free from those channels of suffering must look up to his Mighty Presence, and call unto it to take complete command of all outer activities, give itunconditio obedience. This will allow it to expand full mastery and perfection through the human personality, and thus the individual attains his ascension. The source of each one's own life must be placed before the gratification of the desires of the body, if anyone is to ever have permanent release from suffering. The condition is the same as if an individual built, finished, and supplied a beautiful home for someone he loved. If the one using the home became so absorbed in the care and worship of it, that she forgot to give any recognition to the giver and supplier of the home, the giver would certainly withdraw and all would crash into ruins. So it is and has been throughout the centuries with all mankind. Human beings have become so occupied with the sensations of the physical body and its demands that they have forgotten entirely their source, the purpose and objective of life. They have forgotten what they themselves have decreed for this physical life. Hence, all discordant experiences are but constant spankings, to awaken the human intellectual consciousness to obedience to the heart for the fulfillment of life's plan, which everyone who comes into this world has chosen to accomplish. More than 75% of everyone's life energy is located in the emotional or feeling body. Until that is all surrendered into the management of the electronic body, which is its source and the owner of all energy, misery and limitations will go on because the law of life is not being obeyed. The law of life everywhere in this whole universe is to give back to the source of our being the ever-expanding perfection from within the Earth center of life. This means the complete control of all life energy at all times, for only then can perfection get through. Therefore, the duty of the I Am students is to live in such close companionship with the presence, that every outer activity is the expansion of its perfection. As that is allowed to take place, the body automatically becomes purified, luminous, and free from discord. Hence, it ascends into full mastery and the divine plan of life is fulfilled, to the eternal ever-expanding joy of the individual himself and the blessing of all else in the universe. The hand of my presence. The hand of my presence is held now in mine, the hand of my presence makes all things divine, the hand of my presence points all now on high, the hand of my presence holds all, you and I. The hand of my presence fills me with its light, the hand of my presence makes me dazzling bright, the hand of my presence projects forth its flame, the hand of my presence writes now the great name. The hand of my presence heals all man's distress, the hand of my presence gives all, nothing less. The hand of my presence wields power and love, the hand of my presence holds mine from above. The hand of my presence makes music and song, the hand of my presence holds mine all day long, the hand of my presence fills my heart with peace, the hand of my presence makes all discord cease. The hand of my presence gives me all its power, the hand of my presence does all every hour, the hand of my presence sends forth its great rays, the hand of my presence holds my hand always. Genera.